earthquakes, COVID-19, climate change, displacement, and post-conflict. All our programs are powerfully embedded in inclusion, gender empowerment, and public-private partnerships. None of this would have been possible without alliances and partnerships. Our work is across children and adolescents, 9 million, parents and community members engaged, 11 million, teachers trained, 500,000, volunteers empowered, 500,000, direct beneficiaries supported, 60,000, learning festivals organized, 94, publications produced, over 200, some available in 7 languages, programs and campaigns against child domestic labor and worst forms of child labor, and we have reached over 20,000 schools across Pakistan. As we celebrate 25 years of impact, our resolve grows stronger. With resilience and innovation, we continue working for every child, every teacher, and every community, especially the most vulnerable.
आप सब ने देखा ITA का माशरे में किरदार क्या है. There's one word that's very close to my life और मैंने आप लोगों से ही सीखा है जो आज मेरे सामने है, and that is impact. और हम देख सकते हैं कि ITA का impact आज एक शहर या एक बस्ती तक महदूद नहीं है और इसी पर मजीद रोशनी डालेंगे the chairperson of ITA. Please welcome Mr. Kazim Saeed for his welcome address.
Thank you, Shoaib. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for being here, distinguished dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. Let me welcome you on behalf of the Idara-e-Taleem-o-Aagahi and the entire team here. Let me first thank the partners of ITA. These are the friends of ITA, जो ITA के Idara-e-Taleem-o-Aagahi के खैर खां हैं, वो आज यहाँ मौजूद हैं. ITA की टीम के जो लोग यहाँ मौजूद हैं, पहले मैं उनसे एक आध बात कहना चाहता हूँ, और वो ये कि ये तमाम जो खैर खां ITA के यहाँ बैठे हैं, ये हमारा कबीला है. These are the friends of ITA who are the reason why ITA is able to place itself where it is today. And there are some things that all of these people, the sort of community of ITA, the friends of ITA know. And let me just try to point some of those key facts out. Number one, the people of Pakistan, until there is hunger among the people of Pakistan, we are not going to see placidity and peace in this country. Until there is poverty in this country of the scale that we see, we are not going to find calm. And in the 21st century, let me just reiterate that these friends of ITA know that in the 21st century, we can't eradicate poverty without education. Maybe 100 years ago, maybe 50 years ago, you could imagine a world where people could just get factory jobs and without much education and be able to remove their poverty. आज ये मुमकिन नहीं है. और जिस दौर में हम दाखिल हो रहे हैं, the world we are entering, it is going to be even less possible to get to less poverty or elimination of poverty without education. And this is why Idara-e-Taleem-o-Aagahi के बारे में एक बात शोएब ने शुरू में कही, it's a social movement, it's not just a non-profit. And I have to commend Bela for having that vision from day one. So, दूसरी बात, तालीम के फरोग के बारे में और गुर्बत के बारे में एक दो तीन चीजें हम सब जानते हैं. The households that are headed by illiterate family member are the ones that pass on poverty, have the most poverty, and they pass on poverty to the next Pakistani generation. That we know. We also know that when there is economic growth, those who have education are able to gain from their economic growth and improve their lot far more than those who don't have education. And this is data I'm quoting from the conclusions from surveys over the last decades. We are going into a world where this is going to be even more acute. So the goal of ITA, which is not just to work in education, get those who are not in school into school. It's to keep working, keep moving a social movement until the last child that's not in school is in school. That's why this mission is going to be relevant for the next 25 years as well. And my hope and wish with all of you, the friends of ITA, is that we get there before the next 25 years. There is no reason why we can't. कहा जाता है कि बहुत से लोग हमारे मुल्क के मुस्तकबिल के बारे में मगमूम है, उदास हैं, परेशान हैं। जो आईटीए की टीम के लोग और बोर्ड के लोग हैं, दोस्त हैं आईटीए के खैर खा, मैं उनसे यही जरूर कहूंगा, आई नो ऑल ऑफ यू टेक अ पॉजिटिव व्यू टुवर्ड्स दीज मैटर्स। मैं कहूंगा कि फैज साहब ने जिस तरह कहा कि दिल नाउमीद तो नहीं, नाकाम ही तो है, लंबी है गम की शाम मगर शाम ही तो है। सो वी हैव the conviction that delivering education to every child and every young person is the right thing to do. There is no other thing you can imagine to try to remove poverty in this country and to bring prosperity to every household. So ये बात जब हमारे सीनों में, ये रोशनी, ये आग जब हमारे सीनों में क्लियरली अगर वजाहत के साथ हो, तो we don't have to think about gloom or anything. ये तो करना ही है। और this is what drives ITA. अच्छा, मैं एक चीज और मैं कहूंगा, ये जाहिर है ये रास्ता मुश्किल है, और इकबाल ने भी नजीरी का मिसरा है कि कसे के कुश्ता नशुद अस कबीला बानीस, जो the one who has not been struck by adversity is not of our tribe. So we have all faced difficulty, and let me once again request you for a round of applause for Bela, who's gone through a great deal of adversity to bring us where we are, to not only to create all the methodologies you saw teaching at the right level, you saw Siani Saheliyan, you saw the Asar survey, which is quoted in the Economic Survey of Pakistan now. ITA is now firmly in the educational establishment and the policy making establishment, embedded in that establishment of this country. ये सारी methodologies, ये सारे तरीके अब हमारे हाथ में हैं। Question is, can we take this movement far beyond the pale of this group and those who are partners? And this is where, on behalf of the team of ITA, let me now request all the friends and well-wishers of ITA, we need you to continue with us and bring more into this fold to get to that, be able to get to that goal of getting the last child, Pakistani child that's not in school, the prospect that there is a child that's not in school, to be able to close that gap. And this is my request or a promise from you for the next so many years. Thank you very much for being here, and let's give a round of applause for all of you as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Kazim Saab, for the really inspiring words. And this is how movements are formed. यही एक नजरिया और बसीरत होती है कि जब आप गुज़िश्ता 25 सालों की बात कर रहे हो, तब आप आगे के 25 सालों पर अपनी नज़र जमाए हुए हों। और काजिम साहब ने हमसे यही बातें की, और वो शोहरा आफाक शेर के लंबी है गम की शाम मगर शाम ही तो है। मुझ जैसे जो जेनजी लोग हैं वो यही पूछते हैं कितनी लंबी है ये गम की शाम, ये तो एंड ही नहीं हो रही। लेकिन जब हम ऐसे तकरीबात में होते हैं और जब हम ऐसे लोगों को देखते हैं, तो हम भी यही मिसरा दोहराते हैं और कहते हैं कि बला से हमने न देखा तो और देखेंगे, फरोग गुलशन सौते हजार का मौसम। तो आप लोगों की ताउन से और आप लोगों की रहनुमाई से ITA अब एक ऐसा इदारा है जो कि किसी शख्स पर मुनहसर नहीं है, ये एक ख्याल, एक नज़रिए पर मुनहसर है। और इसी सिलसिले में मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि हम एक और वीडियो अपने नाज़रीन को यहाँ दिखाएं जो ITA के बारे में उन्हें मजीद बता सकें।
Once upon a time, in the year 2000, a tiny spark was born, and we called it ITA. Its dream, to light up every corner of Pakistan with learning. Step by step, village by village, ITA set out on a journey. It planted glowing seeds of knowledge wherever it went, and slowly little sparks of hope began to bloom. But every journey has storms. Floods swept away schools, earthquakes shook classrooms, pandemics closed doors, and yet the spark grew brighter, because darkness only makes the light stronger. 25 years later, this little spark has lit up millions of lives. Millions of children now dream bigger. Teachers inspire brighter. Communities grow stronger. Today, ITA shines across Pakistan like a constellation of learning. And the journey isn't over. This is just the beginning. Because when Pakistan learns, Pakistan shines. Here's to 25 years of light and to a brighter tomorrow.
This was actually another really moving piece because इतना कुछ स्याह और मनफी हमारे सामने आता रहता है कि जब हम ऐसी तहरीकें देखते हैं और ऐसे लोग देखते हैं जो इसको सपोर्ट करने के लिए तैयार हैं और 25 साल से परसिवियरेंस के साथ, डिटर्मिनेशन के साथ हम देखते हैं कि ये जारी हैं, तो सच में बहुत खुशी होती है। और इदारे तालीम व आगाही स्कूलों तक पहुंच रही है और अब जहनों तक पहुंच रही है, और इस सिलसिले में उन्होंने कई किताबें और कई मवाद मुरतब किया है जो कि यहाँ आज दस्तयाब भी है। आप अपने साथ जो स्टॉल्स देख सकते हैं उसमें अदारा तालीम आगाही का काफ़ी मुंतखब काम भी यहाँ दस्तयाब है, तो आप लोग इसको ज़रूर देखिएगा और इसमें से जो आप घर ले जाना चाहें वो तमाम एक ऐसा मौजू जो हमारे माशरे में बहुत उभर कर नहीं आया है, चिल्ड्रंस लिटरेचर एंड चिल्ड्रन सेंटर्ड लिटरेचर, इसके गिर्द जो इनका काम है उसको आप ज़रूर देखिएगा एंड प्लीज़ खुले दिल से आप उसकी तहसीन कीजिएगा। अब हम अपने उस हिस्से की जानिब बढ़ रहे हैं जहां हम अपने सपोर्टर्स और इम्पोर्टेंट पर्सनालिटीज को यहाँ बुलाना चाहेंगे और उनसे कुछ सुनना चाहेंगे कि उनके क्या ख्यालात हैं, their pledges, their call to actions, and we would also like to recognize how they have been a constant support for 25 years throughout our journey. So इसके लिए मैं सबसे पहले चाहूँगा एक ऐसे शख्स को बुलाना जिनका ओहदा तो है द चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑफिसर ऑफ बैंक ऑफ पंजाब, बट दैट डजंट define him. He's a philanthropist, he's a literary figure, he's an author, and he's somebody who has supported every good cause. Please put your hands together for Mr. Zafar Masood.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I must confess that I was not prepared to talk. I was not asked to talk, but I've been caught by surprise completely when I was asked by Kazim, which I can't obviously turn away because I have to go back home, to come and say a few words. All I would like to say is that, you know, IT is doing a phenomenal job, really. Given my subject, which is primarily economics, I would like to say that, you know, the tide will only turn and will sustain when we start educating our people, when we start educating our children, and you know, particularly not just the children per se, but the women. Because as Kazim said earlier, it is the women who are the head of the household, and they are the one who does the Taleem-o-Tarbiyat of the entire household. So therefore, their education, to my mind, is the most primary importance and paramount importance. Secondly, you know, interestingly enough, it's the eve of the launch of Pakistan's first skill development bond, which we are doing tomorrow. It's called Pakistan's Social Impact Bond. The idea is, look, the quantum is so large for the financing for educating our children that it can't be done through mere CSR alone. It has to go beyond CSR. And we have to adopt that to begin with as part of our, as part of our ethos, as part of our corporate call to action, as Kazim said and Bela said. And therefore, it's important that the private sector should come forth and see how they can assist in that funding. It's a new concept altogether called a social impact bond, which will, inshallah, go a long way in terms of meeting the enormous funding requirement of educating our children. And we'll continue to do all intervention which is necessary as Bank of Punjab, as OGDC, which I am a non-executive chairman of, and also as Pakistan Banks Association, which I've recently been elected as a chairman yet again for the second term. So we all are fully committed to support institutions like ITA, and we'll continue to do whatever is necessary. TCF is also represented here. I could see Afsan there. They're doing a phenomenal job too. We supported you. We'll continue to support more. We've yesterday committed to support Habib University as well. But to my mind, it is actually the children education which is of paramount importance, as I said earlier, and we'll continue to support whatever way is possible. Thank you very much.
Sir, you have always been a leading supporter of such causes, and to recognize that, I would like to call Sir Kazim Saeed, Ms. Bela Raza Jamil, and Mr. Javed Jabbar onto stage to honor Mr. Zafar Masood with his award for being a valuable asset and support for ITA throughout this time.
That we need, and I'm sure things are going to go from good to great and even better. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपके आने का, वक्त निकालने का, और हमारे मोहसिन हैं, and it's just wonderful to see how banks can be so enlightened. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया ये वक्त निकालने का. There's a bit of a glitch, and the glitch is that हमारे Khalid Anam Saab, who's also a goodwill ambassador of the Pakistan Learning Festival and has been associated with us for the past since 2011. और जब उनको मैंने कहा तो उन्होंने कहा मैं बिल्कुल फौरन आ जाऊंगा, मगर मेरे पास टाइम ये है बिकॉज 8:30 से शादी पे जाना है. एंड ही स्टिल सिटिंग. अब उन्होंने वीडियोस भेजनी शुरू कर दी हैं कि 1 घंटे से ही स्टक इन सम ट्रैफिक, awful traffic in Karachi, and many of you have shared the same thing, that this has been a stuck challenge. So I just wanted to share with you. मगर हमारे पास यहाँ पे बहुत सारे लोग हैं who are going to be stepping in a bit. But it is also an opportunity, as we were saying, that we want calls to action. हमारे पास जितने लोग यहाँ पे बैठे हैं, it'd be great to have them speak about what that call for action is. And I can see right here in front of me, Abir sitting there. Abir has been a complete, also another trailblazer in education in Sindh from UNICEF, Sindh, Pakistan. And I'd very much like for Abir to speak from her heart, a call to action that we can all rally around. The of this story today is that we have here activists, people who've been in the field, people from STADA. Sadly, the minister is still carrying on a very heavy meeting somewhere in the education department, so people are stuck over there. But we have people from STADA who've come here, other members, from the Sindh Education Literacy Department. But हमें बहुत खुशी है that we have our friends over here who are going to be able to say something. और जो भी कुछ कहना चाहता है, open mic session is for that. So maybe, may I request Abhi from UNICEF to just speak her mind, and we are people who are rallying around this big call for action. Thank you, Abhi.
Please join us on stage.
And you can speak from here and there.
Assalamu alaikum, dear colleagues, distinguished guests. It's my pleasure to be here today, joining you in celebrating this significant achievement of ITA, 25 years of contributions, of efforts, of collaborations with many stakeholders and partners, with one ambitious dream to reach every child. It's a shared vision that we have at UNICEF, where we always explore collaboration, potential areas of support and collaboration, and work together with many stakeholders, government counterparts, donors, development partners, NGOs, private sectors, social activists, academicians. So, because we believe that every one of us can contribute, and we don't underestimate every single contribution. Since my childhood, I always believe that little drops of water make the great ocean. So if you have the drop of water, make sure that you contributed the right way to make an impact. So I had the opportunity to work closely with ITA, and it was a privilege for UNICEF to partner with ITA working on a very transformative initiative. That is the development of out-of-school children roadmap, a multi-sectoral roadmap linking education with health, nutrition, social welfare, WASH, climate resilience, gender equality, protection, to work together towards one objective: reaching every single out-of-school children and give them the opportunity. Either they have never been to school or they are dropouts, they have the right to education. As we gather here today, my call and request for all of you to keep advocating for education. Because as I said earlier, every single effort will contribute to the bigger impact. It's not only the government, it's not only NGOs, not only development partners or academia, it's everyone's role. Each one of us can be a real change maker. We can be change agents. Speak up wherever you are about the importance of education. As the speakers earlier mentioned, because education is the key. It's the entry point to every single issue. If you really think that Pakistan can develop and progress, then education should be the top priority. I congratulate ITA colleagues for their significant achievements. Yes, you mentioned 25 years, but I hope that the upcoming 25 years will bring more hope for generations to come and will bring more education to every child. Assalamu alaikum.
So this is Abir Makbul's call to action a passionate person. But may I request right now, we have our three representatives from the Policy Commission of the School Education Literacy Department, Aftab Sheikh Saab. We have our representative from STADA. We have Koso Saab. Please, aap sab idhar aaiye. And we just want one-liners of call to action, and we'd like to be able to honor you for making sure that the next 25 years that we start, but I hope that by 2047, when we are celebrating our century of Pakistan, our centenary, we have ensured, जो काजिम ने कहा था, the last child in school. आइए please, आफ्ताब साहब. And immediately after this, we will start chatting with Dadi, because हमारे पास already लोग वहाँ से कनाडा में खड़े हैं तैयार, जिन्होंने जुबैदा मुस्तफा के लिए एक जबरदस्त एक वजह बनाई कि वो 35 सवाल होते अलेक्जेंड्रा वास्ती के, और हमारे साथ जुबैदा आपा की वो बातें होती जो they are going to last up for a lifetime.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. मैं दिल की गहराइयों से हमारी बेला आपा को मुबारकबाद पेश करता हूँ, और एक दो जुमले सिर्फ यही कि अपनी 35 साल जो प्रोफेशनल ज़िंदगी है उसमें मैंने बहुत सी ऐसी NGOs को देखा जो डिपार्टमेंट्स पे पलती हैं, और इक्का दुक्का ऐसी एसोसिएशन को देखा जिन पे डिपार्टमेंट चलते हैं, और मैं दिल की गहराइयों से इनका शुक्रगुजार हूँ कि बेला आपा ने एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट की बहुत मदद की हर एंगल से. बहुत शुक्रिया.
अस्सलामुअलैकुम. इतना अच्छा हमारे सीनियर्स ने बोला है. मेरा थोड़ा सा एक्सपीरियंस रहा है ITA के साथ. इनकी इंटायर जो टीम है बड़ी डेडिकेटेड है, और मैं समझता हूँ कि जो एजुकेशन है वो किसी एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और किसी एक डिपार्टमेंट का काम नहीं है, ये एक कलेक्टिव एफर्ट्स है जो हमें करनी है, हमें अपनी आने वाली नस्लों के लिए. और वी ऑल आर द एम्बेसडर एंड ब्रिंग द चेंज इन द एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट. एंड ITA ने बहुत अच्छे कॉन्सेप्ट भी दिए हैं, नए थियरीज भी दी है, और रेमेडियल क्लासेस की, और हमारे अंडर प्रिविलेज जो लेस प्रिविलेज एरियाज है वहाँ पर स्कूल अडॉप्ट की, और वहाँ पर जिस तरह उन्होंने इंटरवीन किया है वहाँ पर क्वालिटी एजुकेशन पे जो जिस तरह काम कर रहे हैं, दैट्स वंडरफुल एंड अमेजिंग. थैंक यू.
ये नूर अहमद थे स्टेडा से, and now we have Noor Ahmed Khoso Saab, who's come all the way from Jamshoro from DCAI.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू. ये वो काम कर रहे हैं जो हमारा फर्ज था, उसमें हमारी मदद कर रहे हैं. ये गवर्नमेंट की जो है ना वो ऑब्लिगेशन है, तालीम देना, क्वालिटी देना और बच्चों तक सारी चीजें पहुंचाना जो है वो हकीकत में हमारा फर्ज है. उस फर्ज में हमें इतनी मदद की है, क्वालिटी की इतनी चीजें हमें बच्चों के लिए दी हैं कि हम शुक्रगुजार हैं इनके इंटरवेंशंस का. और जब जब इनका कोई मटेरियल मेरे पास आता है सर्टिफिकेशन के लिए, इस नाचीज के पास है, क्योंकि वो एक गवर्नमेंट की अथॉरिटी है कि ये चीजें जो है वो हमारे बच्चों के पास जाने से पहले डायरेक्टोरेट ऑफ करिकुलम से सर्टिफाइड हों. तो रियली हमें बहुत कम मेहनत करनी पड़ती है इनके चीजों को देखने के लिए. थैंक यू वेरी मच, और ऑल दिस विशेस फॉर सक्सेस, और आगे इंशाल्लाह हम साथ रहेंगे.
Bela Appa and Kazim Saeed Saab, please honor our wonderful supporters of ITA for their commitment and support for 25 years. And I would like you guys to recognize this by a round of applause. Thank you Mehtab Akbar Razdi Sahiba for joining us, and ये भी एक हमा जहद शख्सियत है, इनका कौन सी किरदार बयान किया जाए. She is a public figure, literary figure, and now a parliamentarian and a storyteller and an expert on history and literature. Please recognize her with a round of applause.
Start chatting to that.
आप सब ने ये देखा कि ITA एक फर्द, एक स्कूल, एक तालिबे इल्म, इसका नाम नहीं है, लेकिन ये एक बहुत बड़ा ग्रोह, एक बरादरी, एक अपने अंदर एक माशरा है जिसकी वजह से ये मुसलसल पनप रहा है. और ये हमारे कुछ सपोर्टर्स हैं जिन्होंने ITA को हमेशा आगे बढ़ाया है. ये हमारे कुछ मुखलिस हैं, कुछ मुआवन लोग हैं जिन्होंने ITA को हमेशा आगे बढ़ाया है. और जब ऐसे लोग शामिल होते हैं तो एक कॉज, एक तहरीक आगे बढ़ती रहती है. So thank you for the amazing and incredible and truly inspirational call for actions. अब एक ऐसी शख्सियत को हम याद करना चाहेंगे उनकी किताब के जरिए, जो कि अपने दौर में हम सब की एक महबूब शख्सियत भी थी और उसके साथ अपने दौर की एक बुलंद आवाज और एक मायानाज फिगर थी, जिन्होंने जर्नलिज्म में यानी कि सहाफत में और लिखने में और ह्यूमन राइट्स के लिए खड़े होने में और उसकी जद्दोजहद में अपनी लाइफ की तारीफ उन्होंने मुरतब की. और वो शख्सियत है हम सब की जुबैदा मुस्तफा. आप सब जानते हैं कि लाइटस्टोन पब्लिशर्स ने जुबैदा मुस्तफा की किताब मुरतब की है, चैटिंग विद दादी. ये एक बहुत खास किताब है जिसमें जुबैदा मुस्तफा की पोती ने, अलेक्जेंड्रा ने, उनसे 35 निहायत अहम सवाल किए हैं जो उनकी जिंदगी, उनके तशख्खुस, उनके ख्यालात का निचोड़ है. और उस किताब में कई लोगों ने उस पर काम किया है और मैं दावत देना चाहूंगा एक ऐसी ही पर्सनालिटी को जिसने इस किताब के मुरतब होने में एक अहम किरदार अदा किया. प्लीज वेलकम मिस शमा अस्करी टू कंडक्ट अ सेशन ऑन चैटिंग विद दादी. क्योंकि जैसे मैंने आपको बताया खास किताब है तो इसका सेशन भी हमने कुछ खास तरीके से मुरतब किया है. और जो पोती है जुबैदा मुस्तफा साहिबा की, अलेक्जेंड्रा वस्ती, वो ज़ाहिर कराची में नहीं है, तो उनको हम जूम पर लेंगे और आपके सामने एक बराह रास्त गुफ्तगू होगी कि किस तरह ये किताब मुरतब पाई. और हम सब ये बखूबी जानते हैं कि जुबैदा मुस्तफा की उम्र एक ऐसी सुनहरी उम्र थी जिससे हम सब कुछ न कुछ सीख सकते हैं. तो शमा अस्करी साहिबा, मैं जरूर चाहूंगा कि आप अपनी नशिस्त संभालिए. Alexandria Vasti के बारे में भी मैं आपको बताऊं that she is an undergraduate student in Canada. Growing up, she would visit her grandmother here and her grandmother would visit her in Canada, and that's how the book came to be. We will also be joined by Mr. Rashid, who is Alexandra's father. Later on, we'll be joined by Zubaida Mustafa's brother, Mr. Mehdi Hassan. Zubaida Mustafa's sister, Dr. Fatima Jawad, And we'll also hear from a couple of other people as soon as we get going. But do you want to educate us about the process of the book and why it holds such a special place and what's so beautiful about this book in under a minute, please?
In under a minute. It carries Zubaida Mustafa's wisdom. And Bela, congratulations. Zubaida Mustafa was a huge supporter of ITA and the Children's Learning Festival. So congratulations for your 25 years. I would like to welcome Alexandra. And Alexandra, as you know, is the instigator of this book. She's the one who posed questions and Zubaida Mustafa answered them. This book was very, very precious to her. It was a very important piece of work. And she insisted that this would bring generations together. And Alexandra posed questions, and we would like to read for you bits from this dialogue book. So Alexandra, a very warm welcome to you. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me as well?
So Alexandra, we will speak later. So this is Alexandra Vasti, again, as I said, the instigator of this wonderful book. And Alexandra, I think you need to know that this made Zubaida Appa's life, it made it very, very meaningful. This book meant a lot, and we are all very grateful to you. So I think it's important that we read excerpts so people will get an idea what this book is about.
Of course. Are you able to hear my audio?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Would you like to begin?
No, Alexandra, we can start with our first. I'm sorry, I can't see you, but we can start with the first question, which you had posed in the book.
Okay. The first question is a simple one, but it's important for me nonetheless. I also believe it's a bit redundant, for all of us are a collection of all the people we've ever met who have had even the slightest of impact on us. You had a profound influence on me. My first memory of you involves a journal you gifted me and told me to write in. Since I was 9, I remember you would visit every holiday, and the gifts were always books or money to buy books. At that age, I'm sure I had other interests too, but the moments when you gave me a book stayed with me. That is why I view academia as a gift. You inspired my huge book collection with your carefully thought out annotations in your own books. So I wonder who inspired you?
You're right that I always gave you books. I gave books to other children too, but their response was not the same as yours. I'm pleased this gesture of mine touched you. I had such a moment with one of my teachers and it changed my life. But my experience with her was not identical to how you describe yours. I must admit that I didn't particularly admire the teacher, yet she shaped my life by speaking 3 words that stuck in my mind for 7 decades. She was Mrs. DC, my class teacher, who also taught us English. She had put me in trouble by reporting my misdemeanors to the headmistress. She was not a pleasant, friendly sort, and that is why she was not popular with the students. But she was a good teacher, and I feel grateful to her. One day, Mrs. DC asked us to write an essay on a subject that my memory cannot recall now. It could have been anything under the sun for all I care. I remember that she liked my essay and posted it on the school notice board for all children to read. And they did. And I watched them. Whether that helped them learn anything or not, I wouldn't know. But this had a dramatic effect on me as a teenager at that time. My teacher's words rang out in my mind. You can write. This awareness stayed with me all my life. It didn't make me proud or boastful, but it instilled confidence in me and made me grateful. Thereafter, I never doubted my ability to express on paper. The 2 jobs I did in my working life involved writing. I became a researcher in my first job and a journalist in the second. But more than that, I have derived deep satisfaction and fulfillment from writing. It has given me a sense of empowerment and kept me going in the worst times when I felt low and hopeless. Even today, I derive comfort from writing when I have barely 5% vision in one eye and have to use a screen reader when I work on the computer. Had that not been the case, Alexandra, I would not have so readily agreed to work on this book when you requested me on your 19th birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Alexandra, we're ready for a second question.
So, as you know, soon I will graduate from university and I will join many other young people. And I'm sure we will all be looking for things that make us happy. And so, how can a young person find happiness?
Alexandra, by not actively seeking happiness, it will come when you're not expecting it. In fact, the process of actively seeking happiness makes it elusive. If you're grateful for whatever you have and pursue an activity or a profession that involves you fully and suits your temperament, the ground will be paved for happiness. How, you ask? A person not yearning for more than what he already possesses gets busy improving what he already has in hand. He enhances its worth and also shares it with others who appreciate it. Then happiness will come your way without your seeking it. Happiness comes when your way only when you share your contentment and satisfaction with others and give them pleasure. Nothing gives one more happiness than making others happy. Once you learn this art, there will be no limit to it. Try it and see how the magic works. And on to the next one.
So, this one is actually quite quick. I would love to hear your favorite quote.
Alexandra, it's by Mark Twain. A man who does not read good books has no advantage over a man who cannot read them. And we go on to the fourth one.
So, regret is something that evolves over time, and it makes sense that we should learn from our mistakes so we don't repeat them. However, evoking a feeling of regret may not always be useful, as we live in a time when there are many issues to feel regretful about. Do you regret something from your past? I ask because I sometimes meet people who tell me they've made a mistake many years ago and now have regrets.
No, I don't have any regrets about what I did in the way you put it. Not that I have never made a mistake, but I have not spent much time moaning and groaning about the past. That amounts to destroying your present as well, Alexandra. If I've made a wrong decision, I think about it deeply as soon as I realize my move was incorrect. My first thought is whether I can reverse it or make amends. If that is not possible, I will let it go and analyze the matter and figure out where I went wrong. That is for future reference. The lessons learned sink into my psyche and are not forgotten when a similar situation arises in the future. I'm better prepared. You must never forget that you cannot always be sure that what appears to be a mistake is really one when seen with hindsight. Imagine walking down a path that forks into two. You have to decide which of the two to turn on. You choose the one that appears to be the better one. Later, you find it rough and not as attractive as it had appeared. Even if you go back and opt for the other road, you could discover it is equally bad. So, accept the consequences and make the best of the situation. If there's a lesson, please learn it for the future. Hence, I tell people that mistakes are often made, but they may be for some hidden advantage that you will discover much later.
Thank you. So my next question is, success is a word that has been used countless times, but its meaning tends to be fluid and it varies from person to person. There's also the issue of how much change can be inflicted on the environment around you to qualify for success. Ralph Waldo Emerson spoke of success as knowing that even one life has breathed easier because you've lived. So what's your definition of success?
Alexandra, success, like beauty, lies in the beholder's eyes, especially the one being declared successful. You will understand what I mean by looking at the Nobel Prize winners list every year. Not every winner is acclaimed as being successful unanimously. Many question the selection. You may have a different perspective. I can tell you what I consider the important elements of success. Hard and persistent work must be involved in achieving a goal that must be ethical. What is achieved must benefit the public cause. It is not the number of beneficiaries that really matters. It is the cause. No one is harmed, even if he is the poorest of the poor. I would be out of touch with reality if I did not mention the importance of the environment in everything I do. The achievement should not be aimed at commercializing a product to make money. I consider a doctor successful in his profession if he has knowledge acquired through hard work and the healing touch. But that is not all. It is also important that he's accessible to his patients who need him.
Thank you. So
Alexandra, we will invite Nurusaba Saiba, who's translated the Chatting with Dadi into Urdu for a question. And then I'd like to chat with you a little more after that about the book and how it came about.
Of course.
So we'll just, you'll hear a short piece of what you've written in Urdu. Adab, Nurusaba Saiba.
Adab, Assalamu alaikum, and hello, Alexandra. I'm speaking to you for the very first time, though I am related to you and I happen to be one of your aunts, your father's cousin. And I feel privileged and honored to have translated Jubbu Khala's book in Urdu. So I'll be reading out the Urdu version of your question number 30, in which you had asked that what attributes what are the attributes that you think are the for your success. So I'm reading out the Urdu one, right? आपके ख्याल में वो कौन सी खुसूसियात हैं जो आपकी कामयाबी में कारफरमा हैं? और जुब्बो खाला का जवाब ये था कि बहुत सारी खुसूसियात हैं जो काम करने वाली खवातीन की कामयाबी के लिए ज़रूरी हैं और मैं समझती हूँ कि मर्दों के लिए भी। सबसे पहले मैं बताऊं कि मैं इल्म को बहुत अहमियत देती हूँ, अपने पेशे से मुतालिक जदीद उलूम तुम अपने आप को तजदीद के अमल से मुसलसल गुजारती रहो। जब मैं खुसूसियात की बात करती हूँ तो मेरा मतलब मिजाज की खुसूसियात से है। अगर मतलूबा खुसूसियात तुम में नहीं है तो तुम वो अपने अंदर पैदा कर सकती हो। तहम्मुल, बर्दाश्त, दूसरे के नुक्ता नज़र को सुनने और समझने की आमादगी और सलाहियत, नए तजुर्बात करने का रुझान, लेकिन ये समझते हुए कि कहाँ रुकना है, इंकिसारी और अपनी टीम के अरकान की हौसला अफजाई और तारीफ वो खुसूसियात हैं जिनका मैं जिक्र करना चाहती हूँ। याद रखो कि कामयाबी हमेशा इज्तिमाई कोशिशों से हासिल होती है। अकेले हासिल की गई कामयाबी कामयाबी नहीं बल्कि कामयाबी का वहम है और ये पायदार नहीं होती। सबसे बढ़कर अपने मकसद में सच्चे रहो और तुम अपने आप को कामयाब कैसे कह सकती हो अगर वो मकसद जिसके लिए तुम खड़ी हुई थी उसे छोड़ दिया गया हो। शुक्रिया।
Shukriya, Nurusaba Saiba. Alexandra, you brought your family together. You met Nurusaba Saiba for the first time. And I remember speaking to Alexandra when we were figuring out which questions we should read. And Alexandra said something wonderful. She said, Zedem and I were oceans apart. she's her granddaughter. Alexandra, please tell us of how Zubaida Mustafa brought the whole family close and and how it inspired you to work on this book.
Of course. Well, I've never really been to Pakistan. I was born and raised in Canada, and as such, I haven't met a lot of my family members, and I also don't know a lot about some of them. And in speaking with my grandma, in between writing the book, we would call and she would tell me about these family members, including ones that were directly related to me. So my father's mother, and she would tell me about how they would collect books together and they were avid book lovers. And that made me feel really connected to my family because of how much I got to learn through her and what she would tell me during these calls.
That's lovely. And it's a huge accomplishment what you managed to do. And again, I'll just reiterate, Alexandra, how much this book meant to Zubaida Appa. And I remember her, I'm sure you remember her last question when you spoke to her about education. And she said, till my last breath, I'm going to rant about it. So again, Bela, this is for you. And now we'd like to invite Zubaida Appa's brother Mehdi Sahab to say a few words.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, Mehdi Sahab.
Thank you very much to ETA for inviting me to speak on this occasion. This is the sort of challenge that Zubaida herself would set. Tell me a lifetime of memories in less than 5 minutes. But there we are. She was 15 months older than me, technically my older sister, but close enough in age to be an equal. Because our other two sisters were our seniors, Appa, Dr. Fatma, who is with you today, and Majli Appa, who was Alexandra's mother. But Zubaida had no such title. She was no Appa. She was just Zubaida, or as I fondly called her, she was Jubbo. She joined me in most things because we were of similar age. And she joined me, but that created a problem because we were a group of about 4 or 5 boys, and she wanted to join on equal terms. But she was intruding in a boy's world, and that didn't sit down too well. But she insisted. And looking back, those were the early signs of who Jubbo was and was to become in her professional life, prepared to take on a challenge, unable to accept that she cannot hold her own. Intellectually, she was way ahead of us. She outsmarted us in most things. She loved reminding me of an event which summed up the difference between us. When I visited her a few months before her death, she was not well. She was uncomfortable, and at times she was suffering. But she insisted on reminding me of a challenge and her famous victory. We were young. We were about 9 or 10 years old. Out of the blue one day, she said, "I bet you boys cannot stand on your head." Now, pride drove us to try and fail. Then she proudly announced that she could. "What rubbish," I said. So she said she will show us. But modesty did not allow her to do that in an open yard. So Jubbo being Jubbo, she provided a smart solution to do a headstand and prove that she could do it. पीछे एक सहन होता था, उसमें 4-5 फुट की दीवार होती थी. So she said she would stand on her head on the other side of the wall, and the proof would be that both her feet will appear above the wall. To our disbelief, both feet appeared slow and trembling, and then fell away. We did not believe her, so we said, "Do it again." So she did it again, this time her feet trembling even more, as though she was getting tired. When we insisted she has to do it again, but this time I cheated. I ran around to see what was happening. And there she was, standing up, her shoes inside her hands, and the hands slowly creeping up above the wall. Those were the early signs of who Jubbo was: smart, resourceful, committed to her cause, and never taking no for an answer. And on the rare occasions when she needed help, she knew how to present her case and demand justice by invoking her father's help. She presented convincingly and with integrity, and I do not recall my father ever adjudicating in my favor. I make light of this narrative, but doesn't this capture the essence of Zubaida's entire life, professionally and personally? When she passed away, her life's achievements were summarized in the accolades and the tributes. And when all these were collected in one place, it highlighted what a great journalist, what a great author, and what a great woman she was. But to me, she was just my little sister. Thank you.
Mehdi Saab, thank you. It's been an honor speaking to you. Thank you. And I wonder if Rashid Saab is there, Alexandra's father, if he'd like to say a few words. A very warm welcome to you, Rashid Saab. We would like you to say a few words, and I'm sure you're very, very proud of your daughter, Alexandra.
Thank you very much, and Assalamu alaikum to everyone who is watching. Thank you for having me. I'm delighted to be here. You had said in your email I should share a memory, a favorite memory of Jubbo Khala, and I wanted to share one that actually relates directly to Alexandra, which is when Alexandra was about 1 year old, and at this point had not started walking, but was a very active and fast crawler. Jubbo Khala was visiting us in Canada, and she was staying with my parents, and we went to see her. And Alexandra, as a 1 year old baby, was doing her thing, crawling around the floor. And Jubbo Khala was so fascinated and so interested and so bonded with this little baby that she herself got on all fours, on her knees and on her arms, and was crawling around the floor, along the floor next to Alexandra, talking to her, engaging with her, looking at her, helping her along. And once again, it was a moment, it was a light moment with this new baby in the family that everyone was so excited about. But it also illustrated her spirit and her own ability to enjoy the moment, to engage with everyone of any age in any way, and the ability to just bring so much joy to an occasion like that. So that's one of many memories, but it's one that relates to Alexandra, and that's what I wanted to share. But thank you so much for all that all of you have done to promote this book and do these readings. And thank you for having all of us here with you.
Thank you so much, Rashid Saab. It's been an honor and a pleasure. And now finally, we will speak to Fatma Appa.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
करीब कर
First of all, I
करीब कर माइक को करीब कर
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm Zubaida's eldest sister. I'm a doctor by profession, a diabetologist, and I'm serving at SIUT, Karachi. Mehdi, my brother, he's the youngest, and Rashid's mother was Rashida. She was 1 year younger to me, and Zubaida was 2 years younger to Rashida. And we had a very close family and very, very strict bringing up by our parents with time पे उठना है, time पे पढ़ना है, time पे सोना है, जो आजकल कोई भी नहीं follow करता है. But I think that brought us a lot of advantages in our later life. Zubaida came to stay with us in end of 2013. She had a genetic disorder, which is called retinitis pigmentosa. And due to that, her eyesight was failing. And we knew that eventually she would lose her eyesight. And she was prepared for that mentally, but she was not prepared to give up. She worked till she could in Dawn. She was an assistant editor there. And after she felt that she could not carry on anymore, then she resigned from there, but she had her columns. First it was twice a month, then it was once a month. And she carried on with that right till February of this year, 2025. After that, she couldn't write. I still remember the last column that she was wanting to write was on polio. She asked me to get figures out for her, and then she just couldn't do it. So I said, don't worry, I'll write it for you. You dictate. And she was there. She dictated a few lines, but then she couldn't carry on anymore. What she was most worried about, if you see this book, by the questions put by Alexandra, the last question which Alexandra has put is that, do you ever get angry about anything? And the answer which she gave was, when I'm told about the 26 million out of school children in Pakistan, I'm furious. And she was all the time worrying about that. She was talking about it. And she died on the 9th of July. It was the 8th of July in the evening. I was taking care of her at home, made her as comfortable as possible. But on the 8th of July in the evening, I felt that it was going beyond me. I couldn't manage it anymore. Although we had the oxygen cylinder at home, then I called up our colleagues at SIUT and I said, I need some help. And it was the cardiologist, another doctor, they came home, they came with the ambulance that in case she had to be taken to the hospital. And she had some friends over that evening, and she was not enjoying it as much, I could see that. And after, before these doctors came and the friends said goodbye to her, she only had that she was not very much, because she was not getting enough oxygen to her brain. So she was not very alert. But the only sentence which she was saying was that what is going to happen to all these children who are not going to school? And I was just telling her that don't worry, inshallah, something will be done. I mean, there's so many of these organizations who are working on it, and I'm sure the government is going to do something. But she was all the time talking about the children not going to school. And later on in the night, we had to shift her to the hospital. And as you all know, she had wished that she didn't want to go on to be intubated and kept alive on the machines. So I told the doctors about that. And she took another 24 hours. And because she had signed the organ donation card, so I told the doctors that they couldn't take any organs because, for organ retrieval, you have to fulfill some rules, and it was not there. So I told them that you can take her eyes. In retinitis pigmentosa, it is the retina or the back portion of the eye which is damaged. The person cannot see, but the corneas are all clear. So they removed both her corneas and they were transplanted into two young men. One of them was a teacher who had gone blind since childhood, but he was teaching. Another was another gentleman who could not see, and he said that after he got the cornea, he saw his 2-year-old child for the first time. So,
Fatma, I can't. Thank you so much for being here. It's an honor. Amina Sayed Saiba, who's the publisher of this beautiful book. May I please invite you to say a few words, and you know how fond Zubaida Appa was of you and your sister. Alexandra, now you will get to meet Amina Sayed Saiba, who's the publisher of the book, Lightstone Publishers.
Thank you for joining us, Amina Appa. As we all know, she's the founder of Literature Festivals, managing director of Lightstone Publishers, but also founder and director of other festival and the founder of the Karachi Literature Festivals, serves on various boards, including the Vicky Noon Foundation, and mentors young people like me to become leaders of tomorrow. So can we please have it for Madam Amina Sayed, who's also the Sitara Imtiaz.
Thank you, Shoaib, and thank you, Shama. Hello, Alexandra. Salaikum, Mehdi Saab. Pleasure to meet you.
Hello.
It's a great honor for me to have published this beautiful book by Zubaida Mustafa, Chatting with Dadi. And I had published Zubaida's earlier book as well. And I was also honored to have published a book on Zubaida Mustafa for children, written by Romana Hussain, who's here. Actually, we had this program of publishing. We felt that it was very important for our children to have role models. And we published a series of books for children, many of them written by Romana Hussain, on Zubaida Mustafa, on Abdul Sattar Eidi, Shima Kirmani, who's also here. So a series of role models. And of course, Ms. Fatma Jinnah, Begum Liaqat Ali Khan, Qaid-e-Azam, we covered all these for children because we felt that they need to know about role models. So my relationship with Zubaida was dated back to decades because she was a friend of my sister, Naushaba Barni, and they would get together often, and I would always join them because I found the conversation so interesting. But then when I heard that she's writing this book, Chatting with Dadi, that this book is being put together by Shama Askari. Thank you, Shama, for your wonderful work. And Shama rang me up and asked if we would like to publish the book. And as soon as I heard it's by Zubaida, I said, yes. We made an immediate decision. But Zubaida, being very professional and very formal and proper about everything, said that she wants to come over to our Lightstone Publishers office to sign the author contract. So we, although, I would have taken the contract to Zubaida's place, but Zubaida wanted to come over. And my office is actually on the first floor. So we moved the table and chair, everything downstairs. We had the contract ready, and our publishing director, Nadia Ghani, prepared the contract. And Zubaida came. And she came with Shama. And we sat, we had tea and samosas, and we had a nice time chatting. And then Zubaida signed the contract. And I was so honored and so impressed that here is an author who takes the trouble to come all the way in her condition to do something that is so proper and so professional. And after that, it was an absolute pleasure publishing the book. And I hope that all of you will enjoy reading it. It's available at the Lightstone stand at the entrance. And I would like to thank Bela Raza Jamil for organizing this wonderful session on the book. We also had a launch of it at the other festival in November. And I feel it's very important for books that, we have regular events on them. We don't have a launch and then forget about it. Every 2 or 3 months, just to raise interest in the book, to sustain an interest, it's important. So I hope that we'll have another opportunity to have another event on this book. Thank you, Shama, for your wonderful work. And thank you, Bela. Assalamu alaikum.
I'm sure that Funoon can have a launch on this book as well. And Amina Appa, we'd love for you to stay for a couple of moments so that we can honor you and award you for the work that you've done. Before that, if you would like to sign off with the...
Yes. Thank you so much, Mehdi Saab. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Alexandra, it's lovely seeing you face to face. Thank you, everyone. Good Hafiz.
Thank you, Alexandra, Nur Sabah Sahiba, Mehdi Saab, and Fatma Apa. आप यहाँ आई, आप सबका बहुत शुक्रिया.
और Rashid Saab,
and
Alexandra's father.
Alexandra has been the driving force, so we must, have a
Yes.
round of applause for her for giving us this treasure.
And thank you.
Thank you very much.
बेला साहिबा और काजिम सईद साहब अगर हमें स्टेज पे ज्वाइन करें तो हमें एक यादगार तस्वीर बनाएं जिसमें हम शमा अस्करी साहिबा और अमीना सैयद को ऑनर करें.
So एक मेरा बहुत ख्वाहिश थी to start seeing younger people take things forward, and the fossil Bela Jamil to start, separating herself. So I hope we'll have many young people. I'm very delighted to introduce Azra Naseem, who is a limelight, who's a kind of an amazing hero on education technology and AI and whatnot at the Aga Khan University, but also is one of our trustees on the board of ITA. So I request Azra to please step forward, and Kazim to please give a token of appreciation. Shama, aap aaiye beech mein. Shama is just incredible. मतलब each one of you sitting over here, किस के नाम ले, Dr. Habiba Hassan है, तनवीर भाई हैं, hands के लोग हैं, TCF के लोग हैं, cities for children से लोग हैं, हर किस्म के लोग हैं हमारे यहाँ. तो it's such a pleasure to see all of you. Please आप आगे आइए. And maybe first of all give a great round of applause to Shama Askari for curating this session with so much passion and love, and coordinating it between Toronto and Pakistan, including Karachi and Lahore with Nur Sabah as well. So this is, please Shama, beech mein aaiye Shama. Shama, please. और अमीना भी आपको दें, because Amina is our advisor on the next big learning movement that we have, the Pakistan Learning Festival. एक सेकंड. शुक्रिया बहुत Shama. And whilst we are here, let's give a shield of appreciation to Amina Sayyed for all that she does, and also as the advisor to the Pakistan Learning Festival, and certainly an inspiration, क्योंकि जब हमने देखा कि the Karachi Literature Festival is on in 2010, तो हमने सोचा कि why not for the children? And there we were in 2011. So Amina, more power to you. आप इधर बैठ ही रहिएगा, ठीक है? और मैं इस वक्त बुलाना चाहती हूँ, as I said, कि यहाँ पे एक से एक super persons and super women are sitting here, but particularly to Mrs. Nargis Rahman Sahiba. She is the president of the Pakistan Women's Foundation for Peace. But more importantly, I mean, मेरे मियाँ बताते थे कि कितनी ये hit होती थी for what she was able to do and how she would win debates in her when she was young in college. And there we are, कोई भी एक्टिविज्म का, कोई भी कुछ हरकत हो, किसी चीज पे बोलना हो, बच्चों के हकूक पे, the rights of education, the rights of women, she is there. Peace, propagating peace, tolerance, freedom. Please, may I request someone to help Nargis Apa and bring her here, right here. And I told her, I just want one call of action, and for us to be able to award you and to give you our token of appreciation for all that you do, for the people of this country, for the women of this country, for the children of this country. Please, a big round of applause for Nargis Apa. Nargis Apa, हमने कहा, बिल्कुल, you can, we just want to hear your voice, and we want to hear you give us, अगला हुक्म दीजिए आप, हम लोगों ने करना क्या है, ताकि हम लगे जाएं. आप इधर ही रहिए. हाँ, वो कहाँ है वो माइक आपने रखा था, वो स्टैंड ले आइए यहाँ पे. Can you bring the stand here?
Hello. Thank you. No, 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 no. Thank you, Bela. I'm sorry I'm being such a problem, such a bother, but then you say age takes its toll. Assalamu alaikum. Such a pleasure to be here and to see such wonderful faces. I can spot Mehtab over there, Rumana over there, and my dear Javed, all of you. I can't see beyond that. Now, what a wonderful event. And I think congratulations, Bela, that you celebrated your silver jubilee, with Zubeda. See, after what I saw and what I heard, I've been so touched. It's very difficult for me to express what I would like to. But as she lost her sight, she made all of us seem much better. And the brightness that was in her, it spread around. So it doesn't matter if the light of the eyes go, the light of the spirit and the heart and the soul must be very clear. And that's how she pointed it out to all of us. And I had the pleasure of meeting her again through Noshaba Barni in the early 90s when I started my activism. And everyone thought of Zubeda as being a very serious person, but do you realize that she had a wonderful sense of humor? And I've heard her crack jokes about a lot of things. But she was in earnest about whatever she wrote. And her heart was in everything. And just as Dr. Fatma has mentioned, that even to the last breath that she took, she thought about the children that are out of school. Now let us honor that memory. Let us honor that, that feeling that she had, which was so powerful, that perhaps sustained her, that she was needed and she had something to do that made her go on. And I think that is a legacy which ITA and Idara-e-Taleem-o-Aagahi must sustain. And you are doing such a wonderful job. Such a wonderful job, Bela. Congratulations, बहुत मुबारक to you and to your entire team, I must say. देखिए, और जिस नियत से आप लोगों ने काम किया है, हर चीज में आप लोग जो है छा गए. I'm not trying to flatter you, but this is what I sincerely feel. और आपका जो असर का जो report है, it's been a tremendous help to us. We are also into education in our own way. I started adopting schools in 89, 91. And at that time, there were very few people who realized, how terrible the state of education was in Pakistan. But then you see, Asar ke and the reports, they enlightened all of us. And the way that you sort of just pushing on and on, inshallah, we will celebrate your golden jubilee. I will not be around, but in spirit, I'll be there, smiling away. And what can I say and add to this? The younger generation, I think Bela is absolutely right. The younger generation must. But we have to light the path for them, and however we can now. The breath becomes a little less, but the spirit moves on. Thank you so much.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया और आप इधर ही रहिएगा और मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है यहाँ पे मध्य अंसारी हैं और time is getting on and we have a small segment on all our inspiring mentors, Professor Anita Appa and Dr. Arfa Sayyida Zehra. सब छोड़ के जा रहे हैं मगर वो लोग ऐसे living legends हैं कि हम कोई भी उनका पैगाम भूल नहीं सकते. शमशाद कल परसों छोड़ के चली गई हमें इतनी कम उम्र में, मगर शमशाद ने भी ऐसे फंडामेंटल स्ट्रक्चरल किए हैं फॉर वुमेन एंड इंक्लूसिव फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन. इट्स फिनोमिनल. बट ये शायद वक्त ही बताएगा और उम्मीद है कि हमें हिम्मत होगी इन सब लोगों से सीखने की. नरगिस साहब आप इधर ही रहिए और मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है मधिया अंसारी से, Cities for Children, another young leader sitting in UK, working in Pakistan, and these are all young people who are lighting fires everywhere. And I hope कि हम इन नस्लों से आगे चले. मगर साथ साथ हम शिवा किरमानी को भी बुलाना चाह रहे हैं और तशीना नूर को बुलाना चाह रहे हैं. पता नहीं कहाँ है तशीना. She said कि हाँ, the storyteller, Auntie Tashi. और इस वजह से because आप लोग जो काम करते हैं और एक हम आवाज देते हैं और ये लोग सब खड़े हो जाते हैं, कभी स्कूल्स में लाइब्रेरीज बनाने के लिए, कभी बलोची किताबों के लिए तर्जुमा करने के लिए. और शीमा ऑफ कोर्स इज अ लेजेंड इन हर ओन राइट. कितनी नस्लों को इन्होंने आगे सींचा है और उनमें से नस्लें यहाँ पे भी मौजूद हैं जो हमें सपोर्ट करती रही हैं। प्लीज शीमा आप आइए, और हम रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं कि उधर से रुमाना आइए, आप भी साथ में, मेहताब आप भी आइए, जावेद जब्बार साहब आप भी आइए, ताकि इन लोगों को हम आगे प्लीज एक ही करके अवार्ड्स प्लीज लेकर आइए आप लोग। काजिम, अजरा हमारी ट्रस्टीज, नरगिस आपा आप बीच में खड़ी हुई है ताकि पीपल विल फील वेरी इंस्पायर्ड टू सी हु इज दिस वुमन एक्टिविस्ट हु डजंट स्टॉप एट एनीथिंग एंड सो इज जावेद जब्बार साहब ऑफ कोर्स। जी आइए, हाँ आप आइए, आप नरगिस को दीजिए, आइए आइए आइए, मेहताब प्लीज। दिस इज फॉर Nargis Rahman Saiba, an activist par excellence, doing some incredible work for this country. May I request Madhya Ansari, Cities for Children, and she's picking things from the ground up. And may I ask Fareed Panjwani Sahab to also come here, and also Asma Ibrahim, Dr. Asma Ibrahim. क्या हम कहते हैं पाकिस्तान में अगर एक jewel in the crown है तो वो स्टेट बैंक म्यूजियम है, but Asma is unstoppable. She continues to do wonders in, please आप इधर आइए। May I request Shima Kirmani Saiba, please. आप उधर आइए, बीच में खड़ी होती जाइए और लेते जाइए प्लीज। So I hope we will begin to learn with movement. We're talking about sports, we're talking about dance, we're talking about learning through dance. And I think what Shima has done for this country and for generations, it's phenomenal. A big round of applause for Shima. And to Dr. Asma Ibrahim, बीच में जाइए Dr. Asma Ibrahim। मैं कह रही थी Dr. Asma Ibrahim से, मैं कहती थी कि मुबारक विलेज से बच्चों को बुलाना है, कहती बेला आ जाएंगे, और वो आ जाते थे, और उन्होंने इनसे इंस्पायर होके अपने मुबारक विलेज में म्यूजियम बनाने शुरू कर दिए। सो किताबें तो जा ही रही थी, लाइब्रेरीज जा ही रही थी, but you know these are unforgettable memories of children. God bless you, Dr. Asma Ibrahim. और ये अब क्वेटा में म्यूजियम्स बना रही हैं. She's making museums everywhere. We have also another friend, Zara Hussain. She's doing things in the north. So God bless all these people who are inspiring us. Tashina Noor. And she said, क्यों मुझे दे रही हो? मैंने कहा इसलिए क्योंकि हमें कहानियां चाहिए. We need storytellers everywhere. And we need storytellers with that kind of passion. So over to Tashina Noor, Auntie Tashi. और जिन लोगों ने हमें कॉल टू एक्शन नहीं दी, we will ask you. And Dr. Fareed Panjwani, please. AKUID. Dr. Fareed Panjwani has infused another level of spirit, another levels of leadership, second layers, third layers, much to learn from Dr. Panjwani in the areas of authentic research, but also informed and lived research with all kinds of ideals and thoughts and so on. आप ये भी लीजिए, मगर एक जुमला जरूर कहिएगा. आइए, please, please, come. Or this is going to be given by, because Azra is laughing since she belongs to the same institution, and by Nargis Apa. दोनों please award दीजिए. And Amra Alam Sahiba, 80 books, writing for children, not giving up. आइए Amra. और आमरा से मैंने वादा लिया था कि एक कहानी चलेगी तो चलेगी, छोटी सी चलेगी मगर वो जरूर चलेगी। बस हम चाहते थे कि सबके सामने हम लोग को जिनको ऑनर करना है, तो प्लीज आमरा, here's something for you. And we cannot forget Atif Badr. Please a big round of applause for Atif Badr. जिस दिन आतिफ बदर ने दास्तान गोई तुर्बत में करी और वो बच्चियां जो बिल्कुल तीन लेयर्स में छुपी थी और विद इन 40 मिनट्स दास्तान गोई तुर्बत की लड़कियों ने in cage they started speaking in another language of expression. Where did everything go? It's just that enabling space. And what is we are calling for, हम आप सबके सामने, स्टेडा के सामने, पॉलिसी कमीशन के सामने, DCR के सामने हम यही इल्तिमास करते हैं कि देखिए, we need to look at education through the eyes of the stories, the movement, the heritage that we have. किसके पास 12,000 साल का हेरिटेज है? मेहरगढ़ से देखिए, और हम देखिए अपने हेरिटेज को पूछे नहीं। शाह अब्दुल लतीफ भिटाई के पास क्या चीज नहीं है? The biggest feminist going, and we don't do anything. हमारे किसी निसाब में नहीं है। क्यों नहीं है? So this is a plea for action. I hope the next 25 years of ITA are going to be about endogenous learning and young people saying कि हम इसको लेकर चलना चाहते हैं। जी, और मेहताब को शील्ड मिल गई। अरे और जी, और रुमाना हुसैन तो एक रूह रवा है हमारी, और बारीकियों में पढ़ना हो, रुमाना से एडिटिंग करवानी हो, एक एक कॉमा सेमीकोलन कुछ ठीक करना हो। यहाँ पे बहुत सारे नौजवान बैठे हैं जो रुमाना के हाथ से निकले हुए, और मैं समझती हूँ कि इसलिए क्योंकि उन्होंने उनकी इस्लाह इस हद तक की कि वो आज अपने कदमों पे खड़े हैं। This is the ground we stand on. These are living legacies of Pakistan. And I just wanted to say that please let's have a big round of applause for all these people. It's not enough. We have amongst us, Shabina Mustafa is sitting here. I think Sabina Khatri nahi aayi aaj. सब लोग यहाँ पे बैठे, एक एक के पास मालूम नहीं क्या क्या होना चाहिए। और आप लोग all, the biggest request that I have is support endogenous learning, support heritage, which is science, heritage as science and heritage as feelings and heritage as values. And I'm not saying heritage was great for everyone, but we have to be able to acknowledge all of this. But बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आप सबके आने का. We are not finished yet, so we want you to take a seat. जी Salma Habib कहाँ है? Who set us off? Where is Salma Habib? That youngsters और जावेद जब्बार साहब. हाँ, ग्रुप फोटो बन रही है अभी ये ग्रुप फोटो नहीं है, सब आ जाएंगे यहाँ पे. सलमा हबीब आप बीच में आइए, आपके बहुत सारे गुरुज यहाँ पे बैठे, ठीक है ना. ये सलमा हबीब वहां से शुरू हुई on the train tracks. तालीम को आम करो, make education for all really happen. And I remember this young girl way back who would say कि बिलापा I'm off. कहाँ जा रही हो आज फलां रेलवे ट्रैक पे, आज फलां बस्ती में, आज फलां हॉस्पिटल में, and that still continues. And mashallah, she is an amazing person. That's why we started today कि आर्ट को एक और मुख्तलिफ शक्ल में ले जाएं. This is art for learning and healing. And each one of you are taking Salma's memento, and she runs these amazing workshops. So Salma, fantastic. Ji? हाँ. So please take a seat. And हम एक गीत भी गाएंगे बाद में, क्योंकि और बताना चाह रही हूँ कि please buy some books over there from Zubeda Appa's अंग्रेजी version and the Urdu version. समझे, ये हदिया है और ये बहुत जरूरी है कि हर नस्ल तक पहुंचे. आप कहीं ना जाइए, हाँ, मगर आप जाइएगा कहीं नहीं, प्लीज.
और वो किताबें जो बच्चों के लिए लिखी गई है ना, I vouch for them because I work in the lab of the kids. और उनका जो इम्पैक्ट रहा है ना इन किताबों का, मेरी फेवरेट है. ऑलरेडी मैंने 10 और खरीद ली हैं. So I highly recommend these books, beautiful ones.
May I just request, and we have sadly no time left, but हमारे जो गुरु थी अनीता आपा, उन्होंने आज मैं जो हूँ, जो इदारा है, वो समझे उनकी घुट्टी से हमें, उन्होंने जब कहा कि चल पड़ो बेला, तो मैं चल पड़ी। मगर वो अनीता आपा जिन्होंने हमें क्या कुछ नहीं सिखाया, and I want to share this with you because when she started and I started working with her in the Sindh Education Foundation, तो वो कहती आती थी, आपको मालूम है उनकी चाल कैसी थी, और वो आती थी और सीधा मेल बाथरूम में जाती थी, आदमियों के टॉयलेट में, और मैं क्या कर रही हैं? कहती यहां से मामला ठीक होगा तो सब ठीक होगा। And they need to understand what health, hygiene, respect, dignity is. और यूं चली जाती थी, और ठीक है उनका रुतबा भी था और वो जा भी सकती थी। अफसोस के साथ बहुत सारा हमारे पास टाइम नहीं रह गया, मगर मेहताब और रुमाना, उनसे मैं कहती हूँ अब इधर हम आ जाते, और मैं चाहती हूँ कि हम थोड़ी सी, मेहताब आइए, और मेहताब से बिल्कुल अब हम पैरास पढ़वा रहे हैं, हम कहानी नहीं पढ़ सकते, मगर हमें जरूरत है कि हम आज अगले 25 साल जाएंगे, तो जब तक हम अपने आप को सेचेंगे नहीं, अनीता आपा से, डॉक्टर आरफा सैयदा सहरा से, और आरफा सैयदा सहरा का कर्ज रहा, वो हम एक और नशिस्त करेंगे, और प्लीज उस पर आइएगा, क्योंकि वो जो कंटेम्प्रेरी बातें कह गई और जो हम सुनेंगे वो चलेंगी। तो मगर मैं चाहती हूँ कि मेहताब आप थोड़ा सा जिक्र करें अनीता आपा का, और मैं और मेहताब और अनीता आपा बहुत सफरों पे भी साथ निकले हैं और बहुत कुछ सीखा हमने इकट्ठा, मगर मेहताब से बेहतर कौन जानता है।
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। बात यह है कि जब आप इतने प्यारे लोगों का जिक्र करते हैं तो हमारी तो आंखें भर आती हैं। अनीता गुलाम अली को मैं न मर्द न औरतें और इसके का कोई मुकाबला नहीं है। वो एक ऐसी खातून थी जिनकी सिर्फ आवाज़ ही काफ़ी होती थी लोगों को जगाने के लिए, लेकिन एक बहुत बड़ी बात जो उनमें थी कि बहुत अच्छी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर, मुंतजिम थी। उनका जो काम था वो ये था कि तालीम के लिए क्या करना चाहिए, इदारों को जिंदा कैसा करना चाहिए, और बच्चों और ख़ास तौर पर लड़कियों के लिए क्या करना चाहिए। तो जब सिंध एजुकेशन फाउंडेशन का उनको चार्ज दिया गया, तो आप ये देखिए कि वो इदारा जो सोया हुआ था उन्होंने उसको जगा दिया, और ऐसे ऐसे काम करके गई कि अब उनके लेवल के लिए आपको वहां पहुंचने के लिए बहुत मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी, और ये इदारे एक दिन में नहीं बनते हैं, वो मुस्तकिल मेहनत, मशक्कत और विजन के साथ बनते हैं। तो सिंध SEF जो सिंध एजुकेशन फाउंडेशन है, उसमें बहुत बड़े प्रोजेक्ट्स, मंसूबे उन्होंने बनाए और उनको पूरा भी किया। और उसमें जो सबसे बड़ी बात थी कि सिर्फ कराची नहीं बल्कि कराची के मज़ाफ़ात और छोटे छोटे गांव में उन्होंने एजुकेशन और ख़ास तौर पर लड़कियों की एजुकेशन और विमेन एम्पावरमेंट पे काम किया। बेला ने बताया कि हमने सफ़र किया, हम ऑक्सफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी में एक कॉन्फ्रेंस थी, हम तीनों गए थे वहाँ पे, और अनीता आपा हमारे साथ थी। वहाँ पर उनका सेशन था पूरा एजुकेशन पे। फिर हम बर्मिंघम गए, वहाँ हमने स्कूलों को देखा। उस वक्त मैं सेक्रेटरी एजुकेशन थी और मेरे 2 रोल थे। मैं एक दफ़ा अनीता आपा की बॉस थी जब मैं सेक्रेटरी थी, एक दफ़ा वो मेरी बॉस थी जब वो मिनिस्टर थी, और मैं सेक्रेटरी थी। लेकिन मेरी तो मजाल ये नहीं होती थी कि मैं उनको मीटिंग के लिए बुलाऊं, तो हम मीटिंग SEF में रखते थे, क्योंकि उनका मर्तबा ऐसा ही था कि हम उनके पास जाएं। एक और खुशी की और मज़े की बात कि उनके पास हमेशा एक कैमरा रहता था। जब भी आप उनके पास जाते, वो सबसे पहले आपकी तस्वीर लेती थी, और वो तस्वीर जो है वो थोड़े दिनों के बाद एक बड़े फॉर्म में उनकी सिग्नेचर के साथ आपके पास पहुंचती थी। मेरी दूसरी खुशकिस्मती ये कि जब उनको सितारा इम्तियाज दिया गया, वो खुद नहीं गई, उनका एक्सीडेंट हो गया था, चलने की दिक्कत होती थी। उन्होंने मुझे कहा कि मेरे बिहाफ पे तुम मेरा सितारा इम्तियाज प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ पाकिस्तान से वसूल करना। तो जब मैं उनका सितारा लेने गई, उनका एजाज, तो परवेज मुशर्रफ साहब ने मुझसे कहा कि बट यू नो यू डिजर्व योरसेल्फ समथिंग। तो आई सेड सर आई विल कम अगेन। और उस दिन मुझे भी प्राइड ऑफ परफॉर्मेंस मिला था। तो कहने का मतलब ये है कि अनीता आपा के लिए बहुत कुछ कहा जा सकता है, और आज तो उन पर मैं एक मजमून लिख कर आई हूँ जो ऑक्सफर्ड की कोई एक किताब छप रही है, उसके लिए मैं उनके लिए वो लिख कर आई हूँ। इंशाल्लाह वो भी यादगार चीजें हैं। बहुत कुछ कहा जा सकता है, लेकिन उनकी कमी जो है वो पूरी नहीं हो रही, महसूस की जाती रहेगी।
तो बेला ने मुझसे कहा था, मैंने एक बच्चों के लिए अनीता आपा पर एक किताब लिखी है सिंध गवर्नमेंट के लिए, जो हमने एक प्रोजेक्ट किया था। 90 किताबें थी, जिसमें से 45 उर्दू में और 45 सिंधी में। तो मैं थोड़ा सा पढ़कर सुनाती हूँ, ज़ाहिर वक्त नहीं है। ये एक अम्मा हैं जो अपनी बेटी को अनीता आपा के बारे में बता रही हैं, और वो कहती है एक अजीब बात यह है कि अनीता आपा जो तालीम के शोबे से मुंसलिक होने की वजह से इतनी मशहूर हैं, उन्हें बचपन में स्कूल बहुत बुरा लगता था, लेकिन रोजाना अपने गधे पर सवार होकर स्कूल जाने में उन्हें बड़ा मजा आता। घर के 2 मुलाजिम और एक आया उनके साथ साथ चलते थे, मगर हर रोज दिन के 12 बजे अनीता आपा और उनकी जमात का एक और बच्चा सबकी आंख बचाकर स्कूल से निकल कर गधे की सवारी करते और 1 बजे तक वापस लौट आते, क्योंकि उस वक्त मुलाजिम घर से खाना लेकर आता था। मुलाजिम के जाते ही उनके स्कूल से भागने का शुगल दोबारा शुरू हो जाता। अगर ये एक दिन पकड़े न जाते तो ये सिलसिला यूं ही चलता रहता, मगर फिर प्रिंसिपल ने उनके वालिदैन को स्कूल में बुला लिया और उन्होंने फैसला किया कि उनको उस स्कूल से निकाल कर महाराष्ट्र भेज दिया जाए, जहां उनकी नानी का घर पंचगनी के पहाड़ी मकाम पर था। उनकी अम्मी का ख्याल था कि नानी, क्योंकि अंग्रेज थी, उनकी नानी आधी अंग्रेज थी, और अनीता आपा की अम्मी ने सोचा कि चूंकि वो सख्त मिजाज भी थी तो अनीता आपा पर उसका अच्छा असर पड़ेगा। लेकिन वहां वो सेंट जोसेफ कॉन्वेंट में पढ़ी, लेकिन वहां भी उनका दिल नहीं लगता था, स्कूल में नहीं लगता था। फिर बाद में ये और बात है कि वो कॉलेज, यूनिवर्सिटी, और फिर आप सबको मालूम है पढ़ाया उन्होंने, और फिर रेडियो पर उन्होंने कितने सालों तक एज न्यूज रीडर। और उस जमाने में ये बड़ी टफ बात होती थी, टू बिकम अ न्यूज रीडर यू नीडेड अ लॉट ऑफ ट्रेनिंग, और अनीता आपा की आवाज की वजह से वो पूरे पाकिस्तान में पहचानी जाने लगी। तो मजे मजे की बातें हैं उनकी, मगर बहरहाल थैंक यू बेला जी।
आपको मैं ये भी बताऊं कि वो अपने कॉलेज में स्टूडेंट यूनियन को रिप्रेजेंट करती थी, और उनके जो दोस्त और साथी डॉक्टर अदीब रिजवी, डॉक्टर हारून अहमद, और जब वो यूनियन की प्रेसिडेंट बनती थी तो उनके सामने कोई बोल नहीं सकता था। तो ये इस तरह की खातून हमारे पास, इस तरह की खातून क्या मर्द भी अब नहीं रह गए हैं जो बहुत हौसले के साथ चीफ मिनिस्टर के सामने बात कर सके, प्राइम मिनिस्टर के सामने बात कर सकें और अपनी बात मनवा सकें, क्योंकि उनका अपना कोई उनका शौक वो नहीं होता था, लेकिन कोई अपना उनका कोई जाती कोई फायदा नहीं होता था, वो बच्चों का फायदा होता था। और जुबैदा मुस्तफ़ा आपा के लिए तो मैं ये बोलूंगी कि हम तो सब उनकी तहरीर के दीवाने थे। उन्होंने जो एक किताब लिखी है ट्रिनिटी ऑफ लैंग्वेजेस इंग्लिश में, उसको सिंधी में मैंने ट्रांसलेट किया। तो ये मेरी खुशकिस्मती कि मुझे ये मौका मिला था। ये बहुत तारीखी बातें हैं जो डॉक्यूमेंट होनी चाहिए।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, आप खड़ी रहिए यहाँ पे, इसलिए खड़ी रहिए क्योंकि यहाँ पे 2 रहेगी, मगर वो बड़ी भी हैं, इसलिए आमरा को मैं चाहती हूँ कि प्लीज आप आइए। आमरा, हाँ, और आमरा कुछ अपनी कहानी है, हम खाना शुरू करेंगे, हमारे साथ जो जो लोग रह जाएंगे हम कहानियां भी उनसे सुनेंगे। तो और इस वक्त मैं चाह रही थी कि हमारे साथी काजिम सईद साहब, हमारे साथी शबीना मुस्तफ़ा, तनवीर भाई, प्लीज हैंड्स के आइए डॉक्टर तनवीर, आई वांट यू टू बी हियर, एंड अमीमा सैयद कहाँ पर हैं? अमीमा नहीं, अमीना, अमीना आप भी बिल्कुल आइए, इसलिए आइए क्योंकि हम कुछ कहने वाले हैं जो जरूरी है कहना और उसका एतराफ करना जरूरी है। इदारा तालीम आ गई बिल्कुल ना होता अगर मेरे साथी माय हस्बैंड तारिक जमील was not foolish enough or mad enough to be travel on my pathway. And there is therefore, in recognition of Tariq Jameel, it's important to see कि हमारी दीवानगी में हमारे मियाँ अगर साथ ना होते तो शायद मैं इतनी दीवानी ना होती। लोग रोज मुझे कहते हैं अच्छा फलां चीज हुई, तुम्हें नहीं बीमारी ये हुई? मैंने कहा पता नहीं, याद ही नहीं रहा कि वो बीमारी होती है खवातीन को जब इतनी बड़ी हो जाती हैं। हम तो आगे चलते गए, हम काम में धुन की में सवार। But in all this madness that we all do, there is someone who's behind you. And I think not to acknowledge Tariq would not be good. Tariq साहब आप आइए, मेरे साथी मरी साहब डायरेक्टर ऑफ नॉन फॉर्मल, आइए आप भी, खोसो साहब आप प्लीज कम हियर, and I'd like really to acknowledge, and of course मेरी पोती Raya is bringing the dada along because, और मेरा बेटा भी है उस्मान जमील, ये लोग सब हमारी दीवानगी के हिस्से में हैं। और सना आप कहाँ पर हैं? सना खालिद, और सना खालिद of she is now, Serish चली गई, Sana Khalid now heads the Sindh chapter of ITA and has recently joined Kanza. Many people from ITA, please पीछे खड़े हो जाइए ताकि तारिक साहब को हम करें। और काजिम सईद कहाँ से हैं? तारिक अगर तुम बीच में नहीं आओगे, क्योंकि ये राजा इंदर बनने का इनको बहुत शौक है। हाँ बिल्कुल, हाँ ये कहते हैं कि there is no program of ITA, even we have a People's Action for Learning network, and he says कि वो नहीं complete हो सकता. I am the mascot. I am the mascot for this and mascot for that. No doubt he is. I hope there is a shield for Tariq Jameel. And is Yasin Anwar there? Yasin Anwar? Again, this is family, but these are very accomplished people. Yasin Anwar Sahab, please come here. Stand by your cousin and father-in-law and Usman Jameel and the grandchildren, please come. I think this is the time to be able to say कि भाई ऐसे नहीं इदारे खड़े होते, सब लोग मिलते हैं तो कुछ आगे जाता है। और मैं बहुत कोशिश में हूँ that good viruses should infect the next generations. I hope all of you will help me to do that. जी बिल्कुल, family support के बाहर कुछ नहीं होता. Who's going to do the great privilege? I think Kanza, Sana Khalid, come here, present this shield with Kazim Saeed Saab. Where is Kazim?
Right, always
Go, not behind me, please, now in front. Please, aye. All these people should know. Sana, aye. No, we are here. No. And because this movement must go on, we have to have young people lead this. But one who is going to be declared the goodwill ambassador for ITA and for the Pakistan Learning Festival, Atif Badar Sahab. Come here, and I would like your mentors to give you this certificate, and we hope that you will be in the service of learning in Pakistan wherever the festival goes. और ये मैं बता दूं कि चाहे मिट्टी हो, चाहे स्कर्दू हो, चाहे थरपारकर के कोई हिस्सा हो, चाहे उमरकोट हो, ये यहाँ पे पहुंचे होते हैं to be able to do that. नहीं, हम सबकी. And if I did not induct our new inductee, वो पूछ रहे थे इसका what does it mean to be a goodwill ambassador? I said it just means just that आप, you are a part of this movement, and we want young people to become part of this movement. Aiye, Kashaf, come here. Kanza, come and present, because we are hoping that these young people will in fact become safirs of learning and be able to work with many millions through. ये लोग बहुत clever हैं, हम लोग धीरे धीरे चलते थे, और ये लोग जो है ये माशाल्लाह से they think of millions, they think of AI, they think of technology, and we want our young people. Kashaf, who's made both the videos for ITA, please. Thank you very much for all of you to be here. And I know it is getting late, और काजिम परेशान है कि खाने का क्या बनेगा, और सब लोग चले जाएंगे, मगर जितने दोस्त लोग यहाँ आए, मरी साहब leads another movement of the non-formal directorate of the school education literacy department. मुझे इतनी खुशी हुई है कि ये आए हैं और ये भी बहुत बड़ा काम कर रहे हैं. जो जुबैदा आपा कह रही थी, जो अनीता आपा कहती थी, जो आरफा आपा कहती थी कि out of school children का crisis and children not learning is not acceptable. And I think हम जब सब इकट्ठे हो जाएं, we'll be able to reach millions. मरी साहब, आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. आप भी आए, एक जुमला कहना चाहें तो कह दें, और मुझे डांट पिट जाएगी, मगर फिर भी कह दी.
मैडम, आप सबकी मेहरबानी, स्पेशल आपकी मेहरबानी जो आपने इनविटेशन दिया, और हमें अप्रिशिएट करते हैं कि आपके सिंसियर एफर्ट्स. अभी जो बात हो रही थी मैडम अनीता गुलाम अली की, मैं उसी इदारे में 9 साल मुख्तलिफ डिफरेंट पोजीशन पे काम करके आया हूँ. तो डेफिनेटली हमें आज खुशी हो रही है कि जिस इदारे की बात हो रही है कि उस इदारे में हमें भी काम करने का मौका मिला है. और अभी जो हम एक बड़ा चैलेंज है, जो पूरे पाकिस्तान में एक बड़ा चैलेंज है, वो आउट ऑफ स्कूल चिल्ड्रेन के हवाले से बड़ा चैलेंज है. तो उसके लिए ये गुड न्यूज़ भी है, और ये मेरे ख्याल में सिंध गवर्नमेंट का एक बड़ा इनिशिएटिव है. आज उसके हवाले से हम 1500 सेंटर ओपन करने की जो है वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइनिंग सेरेमनी करके आए हैं, और हमें यकीन है कि हम ऐसे बड़े चैलेंज को जो है अब जितने भी स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं तो उसके साथ मिलके ये पूरी सिंध को एक जो है पढ़ा लिखा सिंध जो है वो हम बनाएंगे. और सिंध जो है वो जो लीडिंग एक प्रोविंस है पूरे पाकिस्तान के हवाले से, और हम पहले भी लीड करते आए हैं और अभी भी लीड करेंगे. थोड़े से मरहले आते हैं जिसके लिए कुछ हट पीछे आदमी चला जाता है, और हमें यकीन है कि अभी हमारे पास जो एजुकेशन की लीडरशिप है, और आप सारे स्टेक होल्डर जो अभी रियलाइज करके आए हैं कि हम इन बच्चों के लिए काम करना है और इन बच्चों के लिए काम करना है, तो हमें यकीन है कि मैं तो कॉन्फिडेंट हूँ कि ये बड़ा चैलेंज नहीं है. ये इशू तो हो सकता है, चैलेंज नहीं है. सिर्फ हमें एटीट्यूड बिहेवियर के साथ, ओनरशिप के साथ आगे जाना है. तो मैं कॉन्फिडेंट हूँ कि इंशाल्लाह एक दिन हमें 100% जो है कि हम जो वायदे करके आते हैं, और हमें आज टाइम है कि इसी वायदे को पूरा तकमील करने के लिए हम इंशाल्लाह उसी टारगेट को अचीव करेंगे. मैं अगेन मैडम आपका और आपकी टीम का थैंकफुल हूँ जिसने आपके अपॉर्चुनिटी दी है, और इंशाल्लाह हम एक दिन कान कर होंगे स्पेशली एजुकेशन के हवाले से.
मरीज आप खड़े रहिएगा. इदारा-ए-तालीम-ओ-आगाही के जितने भी टीम के लोग हैं प्लीज पीछे आके खड़े हो जाइए. टेक अ बिग बाउ. यू आर टेकिंग द लेगेसी फॉरवर्ड फॉर द नेक्स्ट 25 years. और मतलब बेचारे कह रहे हैं कि ये तो बिल्कुल ऐसा है जैसे कोई वन वे एग्जिट नहीं है. तालीम के साथ एग्जिट नहीं है. फरीद पंजवानी साहब आइए प्लीज. और फरीदुल हसन कहाँ पर है? सब लोग आए, पीछे खड़े होइए. खुशी हैदर आ जाइए, हमारे साथ खड़े होइए. बिल्कुल. सीमा जाहिद अलमनाए, ITA की अलमनाए हैं. और राहीला, शहनाज प्लीज आइए. हवा आइए, आप लोग आइए प्लीज. वो कहाँ है हमारी अमीमा? चली गई? आई थी, गायब हो गई. आइए प्लीज. And may we have TCF representative, and please everyone come here. असफंदियार साहब आइए. हमारे GIS के अमेजिंग पर्सन, क्लाइमेट चेंज एक्टिविस्ट तौहीद, अबीर, जस्ट सब आ जाए इधर, और फिर हम लोग सब खाने की तरफ भागेंगे. शमा आइए प्लीज. आइए. न्यू इंडक्टी आइए प्लीज. आइए मैम, प्लीज join us. Yes, come. You people, आइए, everyone, it's the next generations. Sumaira kahan ho? आइए, just come here, please. Please come here. This is not a crowd. This is a movement. Please, आप आइए. Please, आइए दोनों. आफ्ताब साहब, Shabina, just please. You people are all movements. ओह अच्छा, हमें बिठाने की कोशिश में है कि किसी तरह ये बैठ जाएं. Yasin, come, please. I'm not letting my children. Please, आप आइए, Ms. Shaukat. Please, come join us. Everybody is here. Please. उमैर, तुम क्यों पीछे बैठे हो? आइए. तुम्हारे दोस्त बैठे तो बैठे रहने. अच्छा, कम. अमीना कहाँ है? अमीना, आप कम. अमीना, where are you? अच्छा. Mia, turn this around. I hope you will be with me for the next 25 years. And I'm up to no good. Dr. Fatma, please आइए, please. जो भी है वहां पे आ जाए. Come on this side. जी, please. जी, please, Dr. Fatma. Come. Why are the next generations? I don't know. Why are you being silly? खड़े हो. A big round of applause for all of us. Please. हाँ, वहां कोई नहीं है. हम अपने आप के लिए कर रहे हैं ना. जी, I know. बेचारे के. Please बैठिए. Thank you. मालूम नहीं. देखिए ना कितने बुरे. राया, इन्होंने फैसले नहीं किए. हमें भूख लग रही है बहुत. हाँ. बस आप रहने दीजिए, खींच लीजिए जैसे है ना इस वक्त मामला है. आ गए बच्चे, पीछे खड़े हो. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. खाना इंतजार कर रहा है. रुबीना कुरैशी चली गई.